And welcome back, Professor Almeida, jpalmeida.com. For COSA 50, these are your announcements for the week of November 19, 2017. So for this week, we will continue with Microsoft Excel. We will spend time with modules 2 and 3. And it's pretty much the same game plan. If you look at the readings, you will start by designing the structure of the spreadsheet. You will then populate that spreadsheet with the necessary data, formulas, and functions, and then lastly you will format the spreadsheet to make it all nice and pretty. So that's the game plan for both modules 2 and 3. So this picks up from module 1. Now, unlike Access, you're going to be creating separate spreadsheets from scratch. So in module 1, you learned how to create a basic spreadsheet, right? You learned some of the basics with design, with putting together the structure of the spreadsheet, populating it with data, coming up with the appropriate formulas, and then you did a little bit of formatting. Now, module 2, we're going to kick it up a notch, and you're going to learn some new functions. Okay, so again, the best way to learn is to follow along in the book. Create the spreadsheet from scratch so that you see what is going on. Now in module 3, this is where we start to turn up the volume. In module 3, you're going to learn how to create a 6-month financial projection, and you're going to do some what-if analysis. Now it's also important to understand the difference between relative cell references and absolute references. Now all along, the cell references that you have been using in your formulas and functions, so for example A1, B2, C3, there's another name for those cell references. They are called relative references, and it's the reason why you are able to copy formulas and functions from one cell to an entire range, right? It's because that those references will change relative to their location. So this is why they're called relative cell references. Now, looking at module 3, there are going to be times where you don't want those cell references to change, especially as you look in the book here. You create a little table with some fixed values. And when you're creating formulas, calculating those fixed values, you don't want those references to change when you copy those formulas across. So you will learn about absolute references in the reading. You will also notice that you have a capstone project due this week. Now, the same offer that I had for Microsoft Access is going to apply here as well. If you pass your MOS in Excel, right? You pass your MOS in Excel before the end of the course, I will replace your capstone project. And depending on the grades that I see for the Excel exam, I may also do an exam replacement offer, but nothing is set in stone yet. Only right now the capstone project is what will be replaced. Looking ahead to next week, modules 4 and 5, again, they turn the volume higher. You'll notice that you don't have any projects for modules 4 and 5. I feel that you will be better served by doing the training simulation and the exam. And as you can see in modules 4 and 5 in the book, there will be quite a bit to do in there. Now, Wednesday night. It's the night before Thanksgiving. I know it's going to be a challenge to show up to lecture. I'm going to be going out of town right afterwards, so I understand the situation. If you can make it out, that's great. As far as getting things done, so you don't spend Thanksgiving weekend at your relatives thinking about Excel, you might want to start doing some of these things early. Okay, so again, I hope that you can make it out Wednesday nights. I know I'm going to be going out of town right away after lecture, so let's try to get through what needs to be covered. Have a good week, and we'll see you Wednesday night.